Hello and welcome to Love and Lunch. I got a feeling it's going to be a giggly one. Woo! I was going to breathe. Let's breathe. Everyone needs to breathe. Joy, pure joy. Yes. If no one knows what we're talking about, that's okay. You don't need to go back to the beginning of this video and watch that for any reason, unless you want to feel just sheer joy. Oh, delight. Joe, thank you for that. All right, so here we are, Love and Lunch. We've got about 20 minutes talking on love, life, and intimacy. Today we're going to talk a bit about receiving. I'm Joanna Keeble. I'm founder and coach at bigbeautifulboundaries.com. And that's where you can find out about my online boundaries course for fabulous, healthy relationships and more satisfying life experience. And here's Joe Cooper.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Joe, dating, sex and relationship coach. I work with amazing women to empower them so they can really get to know what the truth feels like in their body and start asking for the things that they want and their needs to have a fulfilling life. And just on like the tech stuff as well, some stuff is coming up on Facebook. So can you just give me like 1 second? Okay, great. So what's actually happening is this is really interesting that we're just getting a what do you call it? Our words are being added to the video. So it's
all right. Well, I hope that goes well. I'll be checking that out later to find out how accurately that has happened.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
And we have a delay, I should say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, wow, that's a sensation.
Yeah, we're having a little delay today. So I'm going to sit back and hand over to Joe and tell us a bit about what we're talking about today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the thing that came up for me, I'm sure probably quite a lot of people know, it's my birthday over the weekend, and gosh, I read this meme actually today. It was really powerful. I'm actually going to get it because it just ties into the thing that I'm going to be speaking about, and it was just so on point. And it says, you know, love pouring out of you is evidence of God pouring onto you. It just really helped me to really come to this place around like, wow, I've just really taken such a huge deep dive into, you know, the spiritual work and really starting to like clear out a lot of crap that simply just wasn't in alignment with my life anymore. It wasn't really working. There were people in my life that, I don't know, there was just quite a lot of chaos and I couldn't really see it. There was a lot of chaos. I didn't even really realize that my energetic system was actually repelling quite a lot of what actually wanted to come my way. And one of the most beautiful processes I've had is being able to really get to know and understand my truth in a way that I can be a portal to really receive love, receive abundance, receive money, receive clients, receive love from people, receive beautiful food that people cook for me, and just really like coming into a different place of like gratitude. Because one of the practices that's really allowed me to be in this place of receiving is gratitude and doing the healing work around that, and especially around like my family in particular, and really just like healing some of those kind of like older wounds in order to like be able to receive in a way that feels pleasurable. it's not coming from like a grabby type of place or like this kind of like ego place. Well, yeah, I deserve that, and you know, and it just comes from a yeah, it comes from a different place, being able to receive. And I've had so many birthday wishes, so many messages. I'm still catching up on them all. And I thought, oh my God, wow, like this is what I signed up for. This is what I signed up for, was like to receive love and the abundance and love. I mean, for me, love is my currency. Like, love is my currency. And to have that shown to me in so many different ways has just been it's just been really beautiful. It's almost like it's been a surprise. And I think that's what's so beautiful about not getting caught up on like how many likes has people put on my post, how many messages. I'm just like, I'm just open to receive, and whatever's meant to come is meant to come. I don't need to have to be like grabby or graspy around it. It's like, if people feel called to, then I'm here, I'm ready. And it just feels amazing to be in this like state of like humility, to be very humble about things in life. And really for me, that this is the key for transformation, you know, coming from a place of humility and gratitude is really, for me, like the foundation for everything. And it's so interesting, you know, I was reading my niece this book the other day around the caterpillar, and how the caterpillar and the butterfly, and how, you know, the butterfly really emerges from this caterpillar, and she's trying to grasp it in her head, and she was trying to understand. And it really got me to think about that kind of analogy to life, really, you know, the kind of the nesting and the work that probably goes in around that kind of that life cycle that the caterpillar has, so it can just, the freedom that it creates from that. I was just like, wow, this is incredible. And that's actually where I feel like I am in my life. I've got these butterfly wings, and I feel free. Like, yes, I'll have to continually to like work on stuff, but there's an element of like being available to receive that feels completely different to what I have ever experienced in the past, because it's been there's been an attachment to how it needs to look before. So when I received in the past, it's like, oh, I'm attached to a specific way of how it needs to look. And boy, does that limit oneself to only have that certain thing. And it's like, wow, breaking free of those kind of like limitations, and it's like trusting the quantum to just be and deliver in ways I actually never even knew were possible. And I'm still getting messages. I am still getting messages, and there's things that I've not looked at yet, but I'm like, all in good time, all in good time. And that was the thing. It's like, it has to feel pleasurable to go in there and receive it as well. I don't want to think of it like a chore. I need to, you know, I look at it by this time, otherwise I'm a bad person. It's like, I trust myself. And I think this is the point that you were bringing on about like really being able to trust that one, things will happen. Like, abundance is everywhere. Abundance is everywhere. And it's like, can I just start opening myself to receive everything in life? Oh, I don't know if you've paused or I've paused, but yeah, I think, yeah, there's so much to say on this. I don't know if you've got any thoughts.
Just enjoying listening. So today we're having internet fun times. So it's breaking up a little bit at my end. I don't know if that's happening for our audience as well. And we have a lovely delay, Joe and I, which we don't usually have. So just enjoying that. And there might be a little gap or a little over talking. So yeah, receiving. So I've written some words down, and as you were talking, one of the things that really came to me was about being. and being present and receiving what is. And you're talking about judging the shape of things, right? Expecting your nourishment to look a specific way. And we are trained to do that. You know, everything around us teaches us to do that. All of the films and all of the books, all the stories that we read are about a very specific shape of things happening. I say all, most. The vast majority of media that we take in tells us that, you know, marriage is good, for example, or money is good. And so it starts to feel like we get very oversimplified signifiers to represent success or to represent happiness, like a placeholder. That's what my partner would call it, a placeholder for happiness or a placeholder for abundance, where it's not actually the real thing. And you talk about like grabbing, and it makes me think of the way that we're supposed to, or it feels like we're supposed to. Again, if you look at the media that we consume, it's all about like working hard and going out and getting what you want. And it's encouraging us to grab and get and drive harder and run faster in this gripping, grabbing scarcity place.
Mm-hmm.
You use two words that I typically avoid, God and spiritual, just because, you know, I think we've touched on this before. They mean so many different things, right? The word God, like the word jazz, means too many things to too many people to always know how, you know, different people are going to receive it a different way. So, so I would probably talk about the same thing, but I might talk about energy. Even that freaks me out. There's a little skeptical part of me that hates any of these words that we can't like study and put in a little box. But I've got to admit that whatever it is, when we can step away from our stories and our feelings of the not having, right, what the sort of away from, like fear or don't want, we can sort of stop making that the main focus. We can actually take in what is available, and there is something available. I think one of the blocks to receiving is if you really sort of caught up on that thing that you can't have, you miss out on the opportunity to take this thing, because focusing on that is that closed, tight, pinched off place, because it's the can't get it, can't have it. And there's this uncomfortable, sometimes vulnerable opening to allow things to come in. You said humility. Yeah, I feel that sometimes, particularly when you're feeling threatened or you're worried that something isn't genuine or someone's trying to get something from you, it can feel really uncomfortable and unpleasant to sort of risk opening up, because am I opening to a threat? You know, so that's quite intense. But that's my fear. I was having a conversation with someone before this call, someone I used to know, and we left things on odd terms a couple of years ago. I don't know, it just felt really dissonant, and he got pissed off with me for missing a call. Like, I'm so sorry, I missed this call, I wasn't there. And it ended very like, you know, and he's got in touch and it just didn't feel resonant. I'm reading the message like, I think this is a copy paste thing. I don't think this is even for me. Is he selling something? So I've got all this suspicion. I might be right. It's just noticing the way that that impacts my behavior. And the conversation that we had, I was very much, oh yeah, really? So it's just noticing that. And hey, what if he is bringing me something amazing? And then I have that story in my head, like, what if you're pinching yourself off from an opportunity? And so there's things to weigh up, because it's like, is it a golden opportunity, or is it someone who did not bring you high quality attention that you're now opening up to from a place of scarcity because maybe they've got something? So yeah, these are some of the sort of spinny, I think, complex feelings that can come up around just wanting to actually open up and receive and let good things in. It doesn't feel like a purely good things world.
What was that last thing that you said? It doesn't feel like a purely
good things world. Like to just be like,
Mm.
oh, just receive an open. If you've got some trauma, if you've had a bad experience, if you've ever given someone the benefit of the doubt and it didn't pay off, then that stays with you. And so one of the words that came up when we quickly touched on this subject yesterday in our WhatsApp was trust. And I wrote down trust and trauma. And it's like when things seem too good to be true, or it seems like too much. So you don't even, maybe you even manage to ask for it, but actually
Mm.
fully receiving it feels, I don't know, indulgent, arrogant somehow, self-important, to actually sort of really savor it all and take it in, like, oh, it feels so good. When you actually slow down and sink into the deliciousness fully, I think sometimes we hit up against our unworthiness there.
Mm. It's an interesting point. I think, yeah, there were a couple of God, there were a couple of God, I think everything that's going wrong today could go wrong. Oh God.
Yeah, let's
Sorry.
go with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just sorry, I'm just getting a call that's coming through. If they won't stop, I'm going
I
to
just want to say, I don't want any sorry. I just want this.
Okay, brilliant.
I'm going to
Right,
receive
let me
all
just
of
pick
this.
this call up. Let me just take a Facebook Live and pick this call up. It'd be hilarious. So, like, yeah, this is life. I love life. Yeah, I think just like wrapping up on that last point really around there's something about for me noticing like what is the energetic resonant thing, like where am I actually feeling the thing and where am I in story. And I think there was kind of something around what you were saying around
Mm,
that's something I have to watch and navigate and just notice and bring some awareness there, because I could often go into a story about, oh yeah, but they just want something, right? Sometimes that could be
mm,
true, sometimes it couldn't. And then it comes back to the trust point that you brought up. And it's like, well, for example, yeah, someone offered me like a month's accommodation in Costa Rica and for free. And I had a really great chat with a friend, and she's just like, but what are you going to give to him in return? Like, he's giving you this accommodation for free, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, yeah, it's not mentioned anything. Not mentioned anything that this person wants something in return, right? And
mm,
it was interesting because I thought, okay, how would that offer feel good? Because my friend was just like, yeah, I just read in this book, there's never such a thing as a free lunch.
mm,
There's always some kind of like energy exchange, or there's some kind of energy. And it
mm,
was a really interesting thing because I don't, you know, I'm not too sure what the expectation was on that particular situation, but I think when I had this conversation with a friend, I think if I was going to fully receive that, and it comes back to the trust, I would need to know in what conditions this thing is coming. Like, what is it? There is something. And I know part of it was to help with the project over that. And I would need to feel really crystal clear on what I was saying yes to and
mm,
receiving, because there was some kind of, exchange that wasn't being overtly agreed. And I think, going back on the whole thing around like if something feeling pleasurable, like I kind of need to know. With some things I don't need to know. Like if someone bought me like a punnet of fruit, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so nice. Thank you. But I think when things are maybe on a larger scale and it doesn't feel so clear, or maybe it's because the energy isn't so clear, you know? Like, I
This
think
is really interesting. I think,
it is really
sorry, I was just
interesting.
thinking, as coaches, so I've noticed it when I want to say to someone, hey, I'd love to have you in my Facebook group.
Mm,
Something as simple as that. And for me, it's like, I really want to build this gorgeous little community of people who feel right.
mhm.
So I am picking people that really resonate, and I really want to build that high quality conversation. And I'm just aware that because I'm helping people with boundaries,
Mhm.
my client is probably someone who's got some trauma around boundaries and around, owning their desire. And
Mhm.
that's when a simple yes no question can feel like a threat.
Mhm.
And that's when, even though I'm just saying, hey, do you want this thing, you might get someone just not reply to you at all. And because of the way society handles consent,
Mhm.
we don't know what we're talking about, because so many offers come with that little tag on, with some expectation.
Mhm.
I think it might be there in the energy, but if someone feels completely fine about what they're offering, I wonder if it might not be there. We might not feel it if they're fully in approval of it and they don't think it's sneaky because they think it's obvious. I think sometimes that might come with a different flavor.
I definitely think there's something around energy and expectation. Like, if I can feel there's an expectation with someone's offer or the gift or the thing that they want to give me, it's like now I'm at a place where, I can feel it. And, to really slow down and to trust, is there something that I need to ask? Is there something that I need to, work on, and just,
Mm,
and really get clear from my end? Because I think once I'm clear from my end, I know then what is the next step to be able to receive
yes.
or to go forward with this thing. So, yeah, really interesting topic, actually.
Yeah, what you're pointing to, that we could get into more, but obviously we'll wrap it up in a sec. But it's that
Mhm.
place where so often I think when we have an offer or a desire or something that doesn't quite feel right,
Mhm.
we just throw it out. It's a sort of human obsession with the binary. We go, oh, then no, when
Mhm.
actually that could be the beginning of a conversation with ourselves or with someone else, to find out, how can I feel safe here? What do I need to feel good about this? And how can I be a yes to this? Not because we have to say yes all the time. I love no. But because
Yeah.
if there's, if you want to, how can we make it safe?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely. Wow,
And there's loads more,
amazing. There is. I actually really love
right?
this. I'm just having a look and seeing. It's really hard to know on this, whatever Zoom and Facebook are doing on this new platform, if anyone is watching. But anyway, if you've got any questions, any thoughts, anything, maybe it's triggered something. Platform. Oh gosh, I think
I
I
was
heard
just
the
looking for a
thing.
comment. Yay. So Jessica says, hello, beautiful women. Hello, Jessica.
Interesting. Yeah, how Zoom is working today. But anyway, lovelies, thank you so much for coming here and being with us today. It's been beautiful. Just trying to think what I've got on in my Facebook group, which I'll post below. I've just done a masterclass, but I actually need to take it down. It was so beautiful. It has so many gorgeous responses around my Devoted to Her masterclass. So I'm going to take it down, but I am going to be doing another one next week. If you're interested in learning about like magnetism, then yeah, even just the word, if it feels like something's waking up inside, then get in contact with me and I'll let you know more. And yeah, I think that's about it from my end. What have you got? Honey, I think is there a huge delay?
I lost you there. I just lost you at the end there.
Okay.
Oh, so fun today. So yeah, I'm Joanna Keeble. You can send me a friend request if you want to have a chat. You can find me at bigbeautifulboundaries.com as well, which is currently showing a lot of information about my online boundaries course, which for a limited time comes with 2 bonus 90-minute coaching sessions. So that is my super duper springtime offer, which yeah, is not to be missed really. But hey, you can always get in touch, have a chat if there's anything you want to talk about, one-to-one coaching, or jump into my free Facebook group, which I will drop below. I think that's it for today.
Amazing, beautiful. Thank you for being with us with the tech, and yeah, sending lots of love.